The Raiders made their move and got their guy. But this is just the beginning. Day 2 is loaded with talent we can't miss out on. Who do you want next, Raider Nation? Like the video, drop your pick in the comments, and let's build this squad. Raiders select RB Ashton Jeanty at No. 6. Ashton Jeanty's name was floated as a potential top 5 pick, but he remained on the board through to the 6th overall selection. To no surprise, the Boise State running back has been selected by the Raiders. This selection doesn't come as a big surprise. The Raiders were one of the first teams to be definitively connected to Jeanty, although the star RB's draft stock has picked up major steam in recent days. We heard just this afternoon that the Bears were interested in trading up for the Boise State product, and there was a belief that the Jaguars could even add to their RB depth at No. 5. Instead, the Jaguars traded up to No. 2, paving the way for Jeanty to fall to the Raiders at No. 6. Jeanty is one of the most hyped RB prospects in several years following his run at Barry Sanders' hallowed single-season division IFBS rushing record. The RB ultimately finished last season with 2,739 yards from scrimmage and 30 touchdowns while guiding Boise State to the college football playoff. The Raiders struggled to replace Josh Jacobs in 2024. The team shuffled through a handful of solutions, with veterans Alexander Mattison, Amir Abdullah, and Zamir White all garnering at least 60 carries. White, shockingly, is the only one of those three still on the roster, and the Raiders brought in Raheem Mostert as some veteran depth. Still, Jeanty should dominate the backfield touches in Las Vegas. With a decent O-line and a lack of elite wide receivers in the class, the new brain trust of general manager John Spytek, head coach Pete Carroll, and minority owner Tom Brady are clearly counting on the rookie to be a major weapon for new quarterback Geno Smith. Despite entering his first NFL season, Jeanty is now undoubtedly the team's most dynamic offensive talent, and he should be a major contender for Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2025. Raiders not panicking about Kolton Miller. The Las Vegas Raiders have made a lot of noise this offseason, with all their free agency signings, new players, and a new regime that is looking to turn things around in 2025. Head coach Pete Carroll will give the Silver and Black the stability they have been looking for in a head coach since arriving in Las Vegas. General manager John Spytek will look to do the same in his position. The Silver and Black have not had much success or stability with their franchise over recent years. But one area they have had stability is at the left tackle position. The left tackle is arguably the second most important position in the National Football League, right behind the quarterback position. And the Raiders have had stability at the left tackle position with veteran Kolton Miller. Miller has been one of the best left tackle in the NFL for years now. He has also been one of the best defensive players for the Silver and Black. Miller has been the leader in the locker room, and last season he was a great mentor to the young offensive linemen the team brought in. Miller is in the last year of his deal with the Raiders and is looking for an extension to stay with the team. He and the Raiders want to get a deal done, but the team is not panicking about the situation. Our Hondo Carpenter talked about Miller on a recent episode of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast. I asked John Spytek about him, Miller, and also Jakobi Meyers, because I have been tipped off that was something Colton's camp was considering and probably going to do, and that is why I asked, said Carpenter. But he had not held out at that point. So there was no reason for me to break anything. I am going to tell you the way it sits right now. I do not anticipate Kolton missing any games. He can change his mind at any moment. I am not speaking for Kolton. What I will tell you is, I will not be shocked if he shows up the first week of game week. I do not think at this point he will miss a game. I do not see him missing a game, but I can see him totally holding out. Las Vegas Raiders get as high of a grade as possible, but not an A+ after drafting Ashton Jeanty in round 1. When the Las Vegas Raiders went on the clock in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, no one knew what they would do, especially after the rumors and experts switching up in the last few days. They stayed strong and got their guy in Ashton Jeanty. Everyone initially thought the Raiders would do this a few months ago when they traded for Seattle Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith. The Raiders had the worst running game in the league last year, led by Alexander Mattison and Zamir White. If that's not underwhelming enough for you, the Raiders' sole free agency signing for the room was former Miami Dolphins and San Francisco 49ers RB Raheem Mostert. So yes, they were able to package the best player available strategy, which Jeanty was, with a need. I'm a huge fan of the player. I'm a fan of the pick. Now, I'm not one of these dudes calling Jeanty generational, because he isn't, or that would mean guys like Saquon Barkley aren't generational. However, I'm fine with the pick. In fact, the Raiders got the best grade they could get for their pick. However, it's not an A+. Grading Raiders round 1 pick of Ashton Jeanty. If I were to grade this pick, I'd give it a solid A, not an A-, and certainly not an A+, but a solid A, and it makes all of the sense in the world. With where the Raiders were selecting and who was available, the Raiders didn't need to take a tackle. Taking Kelvin Banks would have been a reach, even though the New Orleans Saints did it at No. 9. It wouldn't have been a reach to take Aram Mbembu, the right tackle that the New York Jets ended up taking, but it would have meant that the Raiders was either giving up on DJ Glaze after 1 year where he was solid for a third-round rookie, or that they weren't going to resign Colton Miller to an extension and move Glaze to left tackle. I think they believe in the jump that Glaze can make in year 2, and want to keep him as a starter. The left side is the side in question now with what they do regarding Miller and the extension he is asking for. To take any other position of need there at No. 6 would have been a massive reach, regardless of the position. So the Raiders made the best pick that they could with staying at No. 6. But here's why it's not an A+. The positional value for the RB position is still much greater in the second round or even the third round. So in that sense, the Raiders could have taken an RB for better value in the second round in a guy like TreVeyon Henderson. But it's tricky because, like I said, this is the best possible pick they could have made that would have addressed a need with a BPA strategy while staying at No. 6, and not reaching on anyone. So yes, John Spytek and Pete Carroll nailed this draft pick. Most notable Day 2 names for the Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders hold 2 picks on Day 2 of the 2025 NFL Draft, No. 37 and No. 68. They selected Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty with the No. 6 pick, giving the new offense an instant boost in the run game. The Raiders have a plethora of needs to address on Day 2, and these players are top available options, per the Pro Football Focus Big Board by Trevor Sakima. CB Will Johnson, Michigan. Sakima, Johnson is a long, lean cornerback with elite foot quickness and change of direction fluidity. His limited long speed will create questions about his man coverage reliability in the NFL, but having him play off coverage with his eyes on the ball as a zone scheme-wide cornerback could allow him to make impactful plays more often. W.R. Luther Burden III, Missouri. Sakima, Burden is an ideal 5-tool multi-sport athlete for the receiver position in the NFL. The first-round talent is as well-rounded as they come, displaying the ability to succeed at any receiver spot in any offense. CB Trey Amos, Ole Miss. Sakima, Amos brings an ideal blend of size, movement skills, and coverage scheme versatility to the cornerback position. While his explosiveness and speed aren't anything special, his 2024 film shows he has a CB2 floor in the NFL with the potential to be a CB1. CB Benjamin Morrison, Notre Dame. Sakima, Morrison is a smart, smooth-moving man coverage cornerback with good instincts for making plays on the ball. Getting back to form after hip surgery and getting a bit stronger are the keys to a future starting outside cornerback role in a man coverage system, but really any system. DT Omar Norman Lott, Tennessee. Sakima, Norman Lott possesses more NFL potential than his snap counts and stats say. Look at his grades and win rates for a clearer picture. He is an athletically gifted, undersized 3 technique who, with better hand usage and pass rush plans, can be a contributing starter. W.R. Jaden Higgins, Iowa State. Sakima, Higgins is a reliable possession receiver who can run a diverse route tree from any alignment thanks to impressive foot quickness. He won't be an athletic standout in the NFL, but he'll often be in the right place at the right time. S. Kevin Winston Jr., Penn State. Sakima, Winston's tape and the athleticism that he showed off in 2023 made him a prospect worthy of going in the first round. While his recent injury muddies his projection, he's still one of the top safeties available if he can fully recover. Edge Landon Jackson, Arkansas. Sakima, Jackson is a fundamentally sound player with alluring length and surprising cornering ability for a player of his size. His overall pass rush win percentage has been low throughout his career, which presents him as a high-floor, versatile defensive end who can be a solid starter for odd or even fronts. Raiders crushed it with the Jeanty pick, but Day 2 is where we really stack this roster. Who do you want to see in silver and black next? Like the video, leave your pick in the comments, and let's keep this momentum rolling.